So it was lumpy terrain. He's a good time trialist, capable of going strongly. I'm not quite sure who the principals were within that race. I mean, Contreras, Vicente Rojas was there, Alejandro Duran. Yeah, it wasn't this kind of company, to be fair, but nonetheless, winning ways. And here we go. This is a see you moment, potentially. That is the world champion doing what he does, which is just leaving everyone in his wake. Wake-up call for everybody. And they're just telling everyone to get out of here because Remco Evenepoel is coming by. My goodness. Well, I asked who he was working for today because he's got his teammates behind him with Jan Hurt and Peter Seri. He's not helping them, he's helping himself. That's fantastic. Oh, what a statement, Brian. The march for the horizon goes on.
Yeah, he went early there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Just 10 kilometres ago now for Remco Evenepoel, and he's decided he doesn't want to kind of wait. He wants to really kind of test himself. And this will suit him. It's not overly steep until the last kind of kilometre, 1,800 metres, where it goes to about 7%. So he just wants to go out there and race, and he's got the power to be able to deliver.
Here they come. They're starting to think about it. They've moved up. If anyone's got anything, then it is now. And I think it's probably going to be Pippo Ganna dragging one of the Ineos Grenadiers in an attempt to TT over to this man, Remco Evenepoel. Well, we talked about the reflected form that he would have after finishing the season so strongly with those world champion stripes, of course, but also the Vuelta title. And he's been tempted to go for it. It's Ineos Grenadiers who are engaging the chase, as we suspected, Brian. It's a strong team on his case.
Yeah, it is, and they have to react, but they still remember there's 9 kilometres to go. But yeah, they're good effort, and I'm glad that Remco Evenepoel has done this and kind of stretched things out, and we're going to see a real race to the line now. And with Remco deciding to go this early, it means that everybody else has to up their game a little bit as well and just not wait to the final couple of kilometres.
Gosh, Remco. And he has. He's pressed it, and away he goes. 36 seconds. He's going to come up to these guys and sail by. 8.8 kilometres remaining. He's shown what he can do there. Do you think there's some wisdom in backing off a little bit, or has he previewed what he's capable of too much? And then if he did back in, then do exactly the same again, but closer to the line? Or do you think he just wants to roll the dice, test his legs, and then test everybody else later on? At the moment, he's still going for it.
He looks easy. I'm not saying it is easy, but he looks in control. He wants to test himself out. He feels the best way of winning for him is by going early. We see it in other races, especially when he won Bastogne-Liège last year. He just wants to be alone. If anybody else would have been with him, would be, maybe shouting at them, trying to get them to go through. He's happy when he's on his own and out front.
20 seconds thereabouts, 21:20 now, does bounce by, and Remco Evenepoel is going to bridge. This camera is going to have to move over. Now Chippendales haven't weathered well. 8.2 kilometres from home, 17 seconds now, and here comes Remco. This is great, Brian.
It is, and no real surprise. He always said that he was going to have a good go, and starting to split behind, and it really is. Ineos train at the front, Ganna sitting in third place there. So yeah, the race is on, and it's going to be really hard. You can see also that Miguel Angel Lopez is there, Rubio still there. I think it was Bernal that may have been caught out a little bit, but he's been brought up to the front group by his teammate.
Couldn't see Danny Martinez there, I must admit, but have another look in a few moments' time.
I think he's second wheel, Carlton.
Yeah, I didn't quite get full definition on that, but I'd expect him to be there, yes. 7.8 kilometres from home. 15 seconds is the advantage now. That's to Remco, don't forget, from Tarozzi out front. And I think just about to be tagged. Like a broader view of this. Only 7.6 kilometres to go. Here he is.
11 riders left.
Ha! Wow. They're kicking it, Ryan, and he is. Dust into everyone's face. I'm wondering if he's going to bide his time and then go again. It doesn't look like it for the moment. He's drifting over the side of the road. Yes, he's decided to do precisely that.
It's probably the best thing to do.
Yeah.
You look behind there and you saw all the kind of reds or orangey reds jerseys of Ineos, and they were just going to leave him out there to fry a little bit. So I think, you know, you've got to remember he's still young, he's still learning a lot, and it's not just obviously brute strength with Remco. He's looked behind, seen that there's a lot of strong bike riders behind, and it's probably better for him just to kind of sit back. But it's not the last of him. He'll try and win this stage and try and take the victory.
Here we are. Well, it had to happen, Brian. It's starting to break down and everyone's reaching for glory here. Can this man do it?
Well, that's the thing, Carlton. When Remco goes and kind of opens the race up, everybody has to go early as well. And Miguel Angel Lopez striking out here, and now we're starting to see Ineos react. Higuita's reacting. It'll be interesting to see what Remco goes now. But when you made a hard effort like this, and Miguel Angel Lopez has been in the wheels, that was a test. This is a big test for Remco Evenepoel, and he's at the back of this group now.
I'm just looking at battle plans for Ineos Grenadiers here and wondering if it's Garda. You just never know. Miguel Angel Lopez then hits the front with his peachy coloured sleeve cap here.
Well, this is Bernal in second place. Then you get Ghana, Higuita, Rubio, and Martinez is now at the back now.
Yeah.
Remco, I think that was his effort now. I don't think Remco's recovered.
No, I don't think so. I think it was a handsome effort, but he has done his job for the day. I did say at the beginning of the day, gosh, is that my man
Martinez
who's gone?
gone.
Yeah, it is. Not Martinez today. Yeah, I wondered whether Remco had done so much work, so much of the grinding work in the heat on behalf of Fabio Jakobsen early on in this race, and it's not a major target, this one. He wanted to test himself, test everybody else and their will. Good to see, though. It bodes well for later on, and Garner's going to be last man standing, is he, or is it just still adrift here? Is he going to come and take a turn? They can't decide. The
problem is as well, Carlton, when you're up at this height and this altitude, it gets rather difficult, and you know, to put an effort like that what Remco Evenepoel did there, you're always going to pay for it. And then Miguel Angel Lopez goes over the top. It was always going to be hard. It's not the hardest of climbs, but at this altitude, at this early in the season, you know, with these riders battling out each other, it's always going to be a difficult stage to win.
Miguel Angel Lopez goes once again, and straight onto his back wheel is Sergio Higuita of Bora. The Colombian champion is on his case. Who else wants to come and join the fun? They're running out of options. It's Rubio, I think, from Movistar, who's just trying to extricate himself from the Ineos Grenadiers chasers, but it's a two-upper at the moment, and it's Colombians. 1 and 2 just for the time being. Miguel Angel Lopez of Medellin with the Colombian champion Sergio Higuita, and the chase down at the moment, I believe, is Rubio that's trying to bridge over to them as we speak. Goodness me, this is a proper battle. Great to see Filippo Ganna as well. We've only got 5.6 kilometres to go. He's still pacing Bernal, I think it is, just behind him. And the man who started all this off, who rode so bravely not that long ago, the veteran, is just tucked in now, I'm afraid. Mazzinio may well get a good finish nonetheless, and maybe go loud on another day and another time, but age will pay a price. There'll be a price to pay for that at some point. But the Colombian champion and Miguel Angel Lopez trying to get a turn out of him, can't get one. It's between the pair of them by the looks of things, but very much involved and keeping a pace here brilliantly so is Filippo Ganna, with Bernal on his back wheel, Brian.
He is, but for me, Miguel Angel Lopez that's the second attack he's made. It's often the case when you want to prove people wrong, you get carried away a little bit. Higuita seems to be kind of ducking and diving a little bit, saving that a little bit, and for me, still in prime position to win the stage. But I'm so glad we're seeing this with Miguel Angel Lopez. This is possibly what he didn't do is enough of over the last kind of few years. He just needs to, to bury it and go out there and race, and he's doing that now. And sometimes this happens when you go to a smaller team.
Yeah, occasionally I think he used to look for a reason why it wouldn't happen. It's that half full, half empty thing. Well, at the moment, Miguel Angel Lopez wants to show that he's brim full of remaining potential. Well, let's see. On his case. Oh, he's gone. That's phenomenal. Sergio Higuita has hit the buffers. And Miguel Angel Lopez, if he wants to prove a point, he's driving it home now, Brian.
He is. That's a surprise. And I thought Higuita was actually looking okay. Okayed his zip down. But wow, Miguel Angel Lopez looks as if he's really in the driving seat now, and he doesn't look as if he's slowing up any.
He is not. Away he goes, and the camera's going to have to pull back to a wider view, because it is a widening gap at the moment with 4.7 kilometres to go. I can't wait to hear what he's got to say at the end of today. My goodness, he'll have a few words, I'm sure. This is the man who has claimed that he has not been training, he's done very little, and he doesn't think he has that much to offer up in this race. I think he was bluffing, Bri.
Yeah, we kind of hinted that way, but he might be at 90%, but that big kind of chip in his shoulder, that was enough of motivation, and, you know, he's showing it now.
Certainly is. I don't think anyone's got the will to chase him. He's certainly got the will to impose himself today. This is a little bit of magic from a man that should have been, I don't know, one of the big magicians. Didn't quite happen for him for a whole plethora of reasons. Plenty of little cloudlets over his behaviour and attitude, and I'm afraid that offers up a little bit of tinge. He was going to be my pick today, but I almost didn't want to. And here he is, sticking it to me and everybody else. There is a chase, but at the moment they don't look like they've got the desire, which this man clearly has bags of. Rubio looks with potential here. Let's see. A little bit of an exchange for Ineos with Filippo Ganna. 4 kilometres. Are they going to catch him, Brian? It's looking like a foregone conclusion at the moment that he's going to stay away. 26-25. Let's see. He'd have to go pop, because nobody else seems to want to offer up the investment.
No, I think he's flying up this climb now. I don't think he's going to go pop. Bernal has been forced into ride with Ganna now. I think that's the best way. You cannot just kind of sit in Ganna. He wasn't closing the gap, so just going to swap turns. Sergio Higuita swinging a little bit. Rubio, I don't think he's got the power left. It's just a case of, you know, the scraps now for these four, because of very much doubt that Miguel Angel Lopez will be brought back now.
Now then, Miguel Angel is heading for a little bit of respite. You can possibly see that, and this may well just offer up some temptation for the chase. 22 seconds is the margin with 3.5 kilometres to go, and it flattens off just a little bit. You can see that here. So it eases to about 3.6%, that kind of thing, and it is Ganna that's going to set off after him. Now he's going to try and TT on the flat here. There's a 7.1% incline to be taken, so it's the stiffest test of the day in terms of percentage, and Ganna does not want to be that far away with that looming. So here we go. Miguel Angel Lopez holds a 20-second margin now over Filippo Ganna, who is starting to charge him down. Ganna's gone well on this peak in the past, we remind you, matching Remco Evenepoel the year that he won it, Evenepoel, in 21, and the gap is closing on the flat. Miguel Angel Lopez has got to hope that the 7.1% he's about to hit is going to be enough. And look at this monster. This is fantastic. Ganna's on the chase here, flying like breeze blocks don't up this kind of incline. He's going to hit a wall, though, of 7.1%. And for a big man, well, we've seen him climb in the service of others, Brian, and now he's doing it for himself. This is brilliant.
Yeah, this is mightily impressive what he did there. And he was riding at the front. Bernal gave him a turn, and he's decided to use the kind of flatter part of this course. Yep. Clearly knows this climb and using it to his advantage. And, you know, he's getting closer and closer to Miguel Angel Lopez. It's how he deals with the steeper bit, just a little bit further up.
Yeah, and a crosswind as well he's going to have to deal with when he comes out from the screen of this mountain. well, rocks. You get the idea. 15 seconds, it was down to 13. It started to go the other way as the steep part of the climb hits and the gap's extending. 16 seconds, brave effort by Ghana, but the terrain's going to work against him here and in the favour of Miguel Angel Lopez. That'll say 17 before you know it, surely it does. There it is, it clicks. He has a look, and suddenly he's going to come round, turn a crosswind into a tailwind. I think the little guy will fly, but the big man's still on his case. 18 seconds. It was the right time to try and make inroads, Brian, but he's going to get beaten by 7.1%, stretching over 800 metres at the last.
Yeah, still impressive by both of these riders. Miguel Angel Lopez in the left, but Ghana, like you said, used the kind of flatter part. He closed the gap to about 14 seconds, but it's going to go out. This is a time trial effort from Ghana here, and he's got huge power, but just not enough to catch Miguel Angel Lopez.
The one saving grace he's got is that the last 700, 800 metres are also the same percentage, 3.5. If he can keep within sight. Now, what did he find? He found about 10 seconds. It could be closer than you think, this. 1.9 kilometres to go. So here's the steepest section right now for Miguel Angel Lopez. It's 18-second gap. If it gets back up to 20, then I'm afraid he's got no chance, Bippo Ghana. But the last run for home is only 3.5% in terms of a gradient. It does ease. Will it be enough for Ghana? $1,700 metres from home, and it looks like Miguel Angel Lopez has put enough in the bank. There's the magic 20, and here it is. He's got to stamp on the pedals just a little bit. He's not carrying anything like the same kind of weight, of course, that Ghana's got. The power to weight ratio for Ghana, though, is incredible, because he is such a powerful man. Well, he's got to use it and almost try and sprint it home, but I think he's going to run out of road here. This is phenomenal. What a battle we've got here, Brian. It's working the way of Miguel Angel Lopez.
Yeah, it swept everybody else away, but Ghana, this is incredible. Good to see Miguel Angel Lopez just use that bit of grit and determination now, and he's suffering as well. He keeps on looking behind. He's worried about Ghana. 21 seconds. I think this is going to be enough, but I think everybody's just trying to get to the finishing line as quick as they can now, because this is high, up at 2,600 metres. This is a brutal effort by both of these riders.
They're all mobbing the part of the road that the riders want to go to here, just running in from the apex, and he's extending it. There's your Flamme Rouge. So a kilometre to go. Well, he's using everything he possibly can here. He wants the shortest way home. They need to get out of the road so he can come by. I think he's possibly using him as a bit of a screen as well. This is clever stuff by him. 25 seconds now. He surely has got this in the bag. It's going to be a smoother surface for him to deal with, and Ghana has struggled on that that percentage, that 7.1%. The road flattens out just about the next corner, so he's still dealing with quite a margin. Certainly a steeper road than we've dealt with for much of the day, or indeed much of this race. 7.1%. It may only be over a short distance, Brian, but it's had a big impact.
Huge impact. It was Remco Evenepoel that started it with 10 kilometres ago. Then we only saw a couple of attacks by Miguel Angel Lopez. As soon as Remco came back, it was an attack there. But yeah, it's been an incredible performance by both of these riders. Still the fight on from Higuita, Bernal and Rubio for third place here, but Miguel Angel Lopez with 500 metres to go has got this in the bag. How much is he going to win by? But what a valiant effort from Ghana.
Very much so. A huge statement from Miguel Angel Lopez. This will be a cathartic moment from him. Listen to the car horns being sounded here as well. He's into the horned section. It's going to be his day. Count him home. And never count him out, it seems, no matter what the circumstance surrounding his troubles and travails in the past. You've got to admire the way he's buried himself for this. He wanted to make a statement. He's tumbled down the pecking order as far as many teams are concerned because of his behaviour. But today, he's behaved impeccably. He chose his moment, he's gone for it, and everyone else has gone in his wake. That was a piece of class, however you view him. He has made the day. and he's made himself very happy, and he's made a big statement here. Well, we wait on. We'll see Ghana in a few moments' time, I'm sure. Here he is. Another brave effort in that traditional time trialing position. Superbly offered up. And a great drive for the line. He's found more time, actually. He's trimmed a bit back on the flat land here. In fact, Aminera, he's still got 50 metres to go. And he's going to cruise now. It'll be around the 30-second mark by the time he crosses the line. And we look back, and it is Higuita that picks it up. Bernal in his wake. Also here, a very brave Aina Rubio. What a day we've had. It had to define it. And at the moment, well, how do you define Miguel Angel Lopez? The eternal question. Coming home, Remco Evenepoel, who just started prodding everyone around him, goading them into doing something. And they did. Not to be his day, but a brave effort nonetheless. What a great day. What a super day of racing here. Stage 5, always defined it. Quinn Simmons coming in now. Quinn Simmons with his nose in the wind. Lovely to see. Frigo, I think, with him to the line here from Israel. 90 seconds, then blanketing those who have now finished. But what a great race that was today. We were hoping for something special, Brian, and we got it.
Yeah, we did. Hats off to Remco for starting at 10 kilometres go. Otherwise, it could have been a wait. And it actually worked out for Miguel Angel Lopez, because I think if they'd have waited, Ghana would have been a little bit better. He was hoping to try and get closer to the finish, but with 10 kilometres to go when Remco went, that kind of opened up the race and everybody was exposed. And, you know, poor Higuita went kind of backwards when he was trying to follow Miguel Angel Lopez, and, you know, he stole the show. But, wow, what an effort there from Ghana. Good spirited display from Rubio, Bernal and Higuita behind, but that was just such a tough final 10 kilometres for everybody.
It most certainly was. Well, some big gaps offered up out here that will make...
He's on a Shimano bike, so he's obviously had a trouble there. Spare bike.
I was wondering what you were alluding to then, Brian.
Yeah, he's had to take a neutral service bike there.
Exactly, so unfortunately for him. And here he is, Miguel Angel Lopez. Well, how's your Spanish, Brian? Because we're going to be hearing from him. What a fabulous day of racing here at the San Juan International. This was the moment that Miguel Angel Lopez kind of turned the clock back just a little bit, in more ways than one, I guess you might say. Well, there's no doubting that in his day, and there have been many days, he's been a very classy looking rider. And this is one of those days, Brian.
Oh, yeah, that was grit and determination. That was 100%. We've seen it, him doing it a couple of times in the past, but yeah, he had every reason to go out there and do what he's done. He may feel aggrieved, but you know, he can act in two ways. He can sulk or come out fighting, and he has.
Un aplauso para el maestro, se ganó. Ahí le vamos a dar un premio especial por estar acá. El primero. ¿A qué hora llegaba acá? ¿Qué hora llegó? A las 8 de la mañana. ¡A las 8 de la mañana! Se levantó aquí a las 3 de la mañana. ¿Se ha puesto a llegar por ahí? Claro. Tan temprano, maestro. Ahí le vamos a llevar un regalito.
Well, there'll be some big time gaps today, Brian, ahead of what's going to be a busy sprinting weekend. But we have a new leader.
Yeah, we certainly do, and you know, barring crashes, he's going to take this the whole way. I think you can see that Ghana realised as well that, you know, he's freewheeling. He wasn't thinking about the time. It was just the effort he made, and you know, he'll be in second place. And then you've got Higuita, really tried hard and blew a little bit, recovered, but he managed to take third. And I can only think that's going to be the podium at the end. So the next couple of days will be for the sprinters. But you know, that was a good final there. Tailwinds, the breakaway being away all day. We saw the battle for the King of the Mountains and the sprints competition. You know, I think the King of the Mountains is over. The sprint's definitely not over. But it looks as if the general classification has been kind of wrapped up here with 2 stages to go. But it was a mighty effort by many riders there.
It's going to take a while for them all to come home. I'm not quite sure how long we're going to have to wait before we hear from Miguel Angel Lopez, because they can't start the victory ceremony until they're all home. This could take a while, Brian.
Yeah, I think they can do the stage result, the yellow, the leader's jersey, but yeah, you'll have to wait for the complete result. So I think the local TV got them first, so hopefully we'll get an interview with Miguel Angel Lopez and then podium straight after that. But this could take a little bit longer than any of the previous stages.
Well, your house is safe, Bri.
But yours ain't.
I owe you a beer, I think that was the bet. Flags for Peter Sagan. Not to be today, but yeah, in terms of dialing it back, Miguel Angel Lopez did a great job. Just waiting for the official results, but I think I can probably give it to you. At least by our reckoning, Miguel Angel Lopez takes the day. I haven't got time gaps for you, but Filippo Ganna was 30 seconds in arrears of Lopez. They were at the same time at the beginning of the day, so should be hanging. Sergio Higuita finishing in 3rd place ahead of Egan Bernal and Aina Augusto Rubio of Movistar. Remco Evenepoel, who really started shredding everybody, finishing in 6th place for Soudal Quickstep, but done a lot of work in this race, in the heat, on behalf of Fabio Jakobsen, the European champion, who'll be back in action tomorrow. Indeed, so will Sam Bennett and the other sprinters this weekend.
¿Cómo? Obvio. Puede decir que se nota si se ve. No, pero acá no se nota de nada, si no me lo hubiese sacado. Mirá, Dani. Todos presentes. ¿Cómo la recibimos a este ciclista? Dale, dale, dale.
I think we might get an exchange of the young riders classification as well, Brian, in this race.
Yeah, possibly. It looks like that. We're just getting the yellow jersey crossing the line now. Daniel Ross. Still waiting for Sagan, no?
Never has a house been more safe, Brian.
Sí, qué raro, se lo han llevado. Parece que se lo han llevado.
And so the official results, Miguel Angel Lopez takes advantage by a margin of 30 seconds from Filippo Ganna. Sergio Higuita 38 seconds in arrears. Egan Bernal